Unfortunately, my day was rudely interrupted by the sad news that Ambassador Eduardo Danding Coanco Jr. passed away Tuesday evening at the age of 85. I will. I won't. I won't mask my sense of loss. Ambassador Coanco, or Tito Danding, as I knew him, was someone who encouraged me after my father had passed away, and he will be sorely missed. And his passing is yet another black mark on this dreadful year 2020. And I just call upon all of our viewers and friends to please pray for his soul, and especially for his family at this time of their great loss. In any case, we move on to the show, and we will now go to the program. Today, we will be interviewing Attorney Theodore Te, legal counsel of Rappler, and Maria Ressa. We will also be interviewing Mayor Alfred Romualdez of Tacloban City, because apparently there has been a problem in the regional hospital in Leyte in Tacloban, and there has been reports of community transmission of COVID-19. We will also be interviewing Dr. Troy Gepte, public health epidemiologist, to give us some perspective on where all of this is headed, because there are already a growing number of personalities who are standing up and challenging the government, questioning what its plan is, when is this quarantine going to end, and what exactly is the strategy. We will also hear from our news correspondent, TV5 correspondent, Shaila Francisco, regarding the reported anomalies or issues of corruption in the fertilizer scam in the Department of Agriculture in Northern Luzon. But first, let's move on to today's headlines. Here are the stories from the front page of the Philippine Star. President Duterte wants to meet with business groups to discuss possible adjustments to quarantine measures and other ways to reopen the economy. Metro Manila's general community quarantine status has been extended until the end of the month, while other areas like Cebu City has been placed back on the stricter enhanced community quarantine. But presidential spokesperson Harry Roque has said the changes may be implemented after June 30, and a meeting with the private sector will be key in identifying the next steps. Still, it has not yet been made clear when President Duterte's meetings with business will take place. The House of Representatives is eyeing a 58 billion peso fund for the recovery of the country's tourism industry. Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano revealed yesterday that while there are challenges, there are still opportunities to boost the industry, particularly if money is spent on building tourism-related infrastructure, which he says currently has gaps that need to be addressed. Cayetano also added that they seek to put a system in place so that the tourism industry can get back on track in 1 to 1.5 years. From tourism, let's move to education. The national government plans to give transistor radios to families in far-flung areas so children can have access to education during the pandemic. President Duterte has directed the Budget Department to look for funds to procure the radios, which he estimated to cost around 300 pesos each. Radios, alongside computers and the internet, are some of the Education Department's tools for the Alternative Learning Program, which is set to start by August. A total of 10.6 million learners have already enrolled for this upcoming school year, says Education Chief Leonor Briones. In other news, former United States Secretaries of State Hillary Clinton and Madeleine Albright expressed support for Rappler Chief Executive Officer Maria Ressa, who was convicted of cyber libel on Monday. Clinton, in a post on Twitter, said that Maria Ressa was convicted for doing her job and that we must fiercely protest attacks on the press as they are attacks on democracy. Albright, for her part, also on Twitter expressed her support for Ressa. Judge Reynelda Estacio Montesa of the Manila Regional Trial Court, Branch 46, has found Ressa alongside with researcher writer Reynaldo Santos Jr. guilty of violating the Cybercrime Prevention Act, specifically for cyber libel. Now, let's go to our first guest to further discuss this libel case of Maria Ressa. We have with us a former spokesperson of the Supreme Court. He is also a lawyer by profession, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's a fellow anchor in TV5 in One News PH. We have with us Attorney Theodore Te. Good morning to you, Theodore.
Good morning, Cito. Good to be here in your show.
Okay, I have to be honest. I'm really careful, and I have tried to stay away from this case, not because I'm not sympathetic, but because, as you know, my father went through the same experience during the Cory administration. He was sued for libel, found guilty in the regional trial court, in Manila trial court, and absolved by the Court of Appeals. I, for myself, then moved on, made peace with Cory Aquino. In fact, defended her on 2 occasions. And to her credit, none other than Chris Aquino actually went out on Facebook and expressing regret for those unfortunate circumstances. So I'm just like keeping it there because there's so many people, well, not so many, but a number of key people who have been citing that case and making comparisons. Now, maybe that's where we should take off because, you know, some people are saying this is an issue of press freedom. The Keng group is saying it's a personal case. And some people are saying that, you know, this is abuse of Malacanang or presidential authority. What say you?
Yeah, I appreciate that context, Cito. And in fact, that's an important statement to make because I have actually seen also the comparisons being made, pitting one case against the other. Of course, there are differences. There are marked differences in the 2 cases. Definitely, the case against your father was not for cyber libel. The offense that did not exist then. Of course. And in that case, the complainant was none other than the sitting president of the Philippines. In this case, of course, this is cyber libel, a totally new offense, an offense that came in only in 2012. Mm-hmm. And while the private complainant, the person who filed the complaint is a private person, as it were, a businessman, I don't think it can also be denied that the impact of this decision, the effects of this decision, should it be sustained, will really impact significantly on the exercise of freedoms, particularly by the press, and also by anyone who is on social media, because the effect of the decision, which basically holds that one, you can actually be charged with cyber libel based simply on continuous republication for so long as the post is still online and it can be read and it is interpreted as defamatory, then you can be charged. Secondly,
Ted, is that
yes.
the nature, or is that the nature and spirit of this particular law, or is that the defect of this law? Because some people have said, you know, the law was meant for good, but unfortunately, kulang-kulang yung batas, kanya nagkakabutas-butas.
Tama yun, Cito. I agree with you. In fact, in 2012, when the law came out, we were one. I was counsel for a group of journalists who sued, asking that the law be declared unconstitutional for many reasons, as to cyber libel, specifically because, again, we did not believe that libel should exist and that cyber libel should exist. But also, I agree with you that medyo may kulang yung batas. No? In the first place, there are provisions of the cyber libel law that do not define many things. No? So I agree with you there that kulang-kulang yung batas and therefore it makes it dangerous. No? But the interpretation of the judge in this case, and with due respect to the judge, is that the mere allowance of the online post will be enough. Now, again, it's not just a question of the members of the media, because anyone on social media now who posts and someone reads that post and says it is defamatory, right, can be sued. And the second part of that is the issue of the statute of limitations, the prescription period, which is a specific legal issue arising out of, as you put it, the vagueness of the Cybercrime Protection Act, particularly in relation to cyber libel, because the original libel law, Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code, provides for a 1-year prescription period. And but the interpretation of the judge here, taking on the position of the Department of Justice, is that a very old law, 1926 law, even before the Revised Penal Code came in, would govern, and that this particular law says if there is no specific prescription period that is provided in the law, then this law applies, and this law will base it on the penalty. And that's where the judge got the 12-year period. So within a period of 12 years, pwedeng kasuhan.
Okay, hold it there, Ted, no? Para maintindihan ng mga hindi nakakaintindi. Kasi sinasabi mo, yung sa regular na libel case, katulad ng pinail sa tatay ko, pag hindi ka nag-file ng demanda within 1 year, after 1 year, wala nang kaso.
Paso na yun. Paso na yun. Tama.
Paso na. Okay. Ngayon, dito sa cyber libel, hindi nila nilagyan ng prescription period o time limit na kung kailan ka pwede magdemanda.
Yes. Wala sa batas, wala sa Cybercrime Protection Law yun. Wala sa batas.
Okay, wala. Ngayon, ang tanong ko sa iyo, kasi nanggaling ka rin naman sa Supreme Court, abogado ka, etc., aral ka. Ngayon, ang tanong ko sa iyo, yung ba correct, tama ba yun? Kasi lahat ng batas na alam ko, merong prescription period. Tama ba yun o mali ba yun ginawa ng mga sumulat ng batas na yan?
I think mali yun. Dapat nilinaw nila sa batas kung ano yung prescription period. Pero nagkaroon ng opportunity to interpret ang Supreme Court. No? Katulad ng sinabi mo, the Cini versus Secretary of Justice, it is the first and so far only case where the Supreme Court interpreted the Cybercrime Protection Law. And specifically dun sa cyber libel, mahalaga yung sinabi ng Korte Suprema. Ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, yung cyber libel, hindi yan bagong krimen. It is the old law, it is the old felony of libel done in a different way.
In new technology.
Using new technology. And therefore, because it is not a new felony, it is not a new crime, it is in fact all the elements of the old libel law done a new way. Maaaring natin sabihin, lahat ng provision ng RPC, Revised Penal Code, ay nag-a-apply dito. Katulad ng prescription period na 1 year. Yun nga lang, wala sa batas yun. Interpretation ng Korte Suprema yun.
Ito ngayon ang tanong ko, Ted. Tama ba, number one, is the DOJ the right party to cite a 1924 or 1926 law to guide the judge? Kasi parang hindi naman ako abogado, no? Pero nakakapagbasa-basa rin ako. Ang feeling ko is that the judge should at the very least have gone to the court administrator of the Supreme Court or gone to the Supreme Court or wherever and asked, can I have guidance on this matter? Kasi kung DOJ ang magbibigay ng direksyon, itong batas ang gamitin mo, hindi ba DOJ din na nagsabing, we find a cause for libel dito?
Tama yun. No? In fact, the judge cannot go to court administrator for substantive policy kasi procedural yun. Pero maaring tingnan ng judge yung mga desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Yun ang magbibigay sa kanilang guidance. Kaya mahalaga yung Dicini versus Secretary kasi doon sa kasong yun, may interpretation ng Korte Suprema. Batay doon sa interpretation ng Korte Suprema, maaari nang gumawa ng decision si judge. Batay sa pananaw niya, ha? Kasi may discretion si judge to appreciate how the decision was rendered by the Supreme Court. But again, the important points in that decision of the Supreme Court, as far as cyber libel, it is not a new crime. It is the old crime, the old elements, walang binago doon, ginawa lang, dinagdag lang yung ICT device. Kapag ginamit sa computer, yun lang yung bago. Bukod doon, walang bago. So, maaari natin sabihin, reasonably, no, kahit na hindi ka abogado, pag binasa mo yun, hindi siya bagong krimen, bagong pamamaraan lang, maaari natin sabihin, kahit na hindi ka abogado, to say, edi lahat ng dati, yun pa rin. So, ibig sabihin 1 year, no, 1 year period pa rin. Yun yung interpretation namin, sa tingin namin, reasonable yun, batay dun sa interpretation ng Korte Suprema. Unfortunately, hindi sumang-ayon si Judge. Ngayon, syempre, we disagree with that, and so we have our remedies against that particular judgment.
What other defects are there as far as the law in relation to this case? Kasi syempre dito nagkakalabasan. Pag nag-file na ng kaso, dyan na nagkakaalaman kung alin yung mga problema sa batas.
Yung unang-una, yung sinasabi nating cyber libel is a content-based crime. No? Malinaw na ang interpretation ng Korte Suprema, matagal na marami ng kaso, na yung freedom of expression and the freedom of the press, no, are recognized as very high on the hierarchy of rights, ika nga, no? In fact, ang categorization ng Korte Suprema dyan, it is a preferred right. Kung paghahambingin mo siya sa ibang karapatan, siguro ang mas mataas lang dyan ay yung right to life, liberty, and property with, not to be deprived without due process of law and equal protection. Susunod na dyan yung freedom of the press, expression, and organization. So, yun yung malinaw na sinasabi ng Korte Suprema. Ngayon, dito sa batas na ito, Cybercrime Protection Act, malinaw yung categorization ng crime na to, content-based. Ibig sabihin, nakabatay dun sa sinabi mo. Ngayon, anong problema doon? Ang problema doon is siyempre iba-ibang interpretasyon, no? Yung isang tao kapag narinig yung isang sinabi, maaaring sa kanya baliwala yun eh. Pero ibang tao pag narinig yun at iba yung pananaw niya, maaaring na sabihin ay libelous yun o defamatory.
Pag ikaw napapag-usapan kahit na sinasabi yung totoo, masakit dahil ikaw yung pinag-usapan.
Tama yun. Yung lagi kong binibigay na halimbawa sa law school, no? Kapag sinabi mong isang tao ay, medyo hindi kagandahan yung itsura,
pag sinabi mong pangit.
Defamatory pa rin yun kahit na totoo, no? Wag mong sabihin in public, no? So yun yung problema diyan. Content-based siya eh. So ngayon, taliwas yan doon sa sinasabi ng Korte Suprema na napakataas ng bar, no? Ang bar diyan, clear and present danger. Kailangan mo na may clear and present danger bago mo pwedeng supilin yung content, no? Dahil nga mataas ang protection na binibigay. So ngayon, may batas tayo na sinasabi, it is a content-based crime. Hindi lang siya regulation. In fact, ang Korte Suprema sinasabi, regulation, hindi mo pwedeng gawin pag walang clear and present danger. Ito, krimen, no? At may penalty. So yun yung pangunahing problema. Kaya magandang tanong mo, Cito, ano yung problema sa batas? Yun yung pangunahing problema. In fact, in 2012, sinabi na namin yun. Pumunta kami sa Korte Suprema, maraming petitioners, tumutol dito sa batas na ito at sinabi unconstitutional yung batas na yan. Unfortunately, hindi po sumang-ayon ng Korte Suprema. Sinabi ng Korte Suprema, maraming provision dito ay hindi labag sa saligang batas. May iilan na labag at dineclare na unconstitutional. May iilan na hindi. Ang cyber libel kasama doon sa sinabing hindi paglabag ng saligang batas. So ngayon, meron ng ganitong kaso, no? Meron ng specific case on cyber libel, may conviction na. And therefore, it might be a good opportunity for us to ask for a revisit, no, of that ruling and say, alam nyo, baka maaari natin tingnan uli ito. No,
because in 2012, you filed a case regarding cyber libel and sinabi nila, cyber libel law as it is not unconstitutional. Ano lang yan, kumbaga minodernize lang yung dati ng batas. But now, you're saying, hindi na issue of a modern version of libel, now this is a law that does not have a prescription period. It is being applied retroactive. Nga, pakiano mo nga yung retroactive na yan? Kasi nagtataka ako. I mean, okay, prescription, pwede mong sabihin, ay, we forgot something. O may nakalimutan sila no sinulat nila yan. Pero ano itong retroactive na sinasabi mong pagpapatupad ng batas?
Yung retroactive kasi may pangunahing rule tayo sa criminal law, no? Na yung isang batas, prospective operation, meaning paabante, hindi pa atras. Kapag may bagong batas at tinatakda isang bagay na krimen, no? Halimbawa, yung pagsusuot ng blue na damit, halimbawa lang, no? Yung pagsusuot ng blue na damit, pinagbabawal ngayon, no? Pag ginawa ng batas na bawal yung pagsusuot ng blue na damit, hindi maaaring retroactive yun, hindi ba di umatras. So kung halimbawa kahapon, nagsuot ako ng blue na damit, hindi pa krimen yun, hindi pwedeng iatras. Dahil ang tawag po doon, ex post facto law. Bawal sa salingang batas yan. Ngayon, ang problema dito sa kasong ito, yung news item na sinasabi ay 2012 lumabas. Noong 2012, nung lumabas itong news item, wala pang cybercrime protection law. Wala pang cyber libel. The offense did not exist at the time. Now, when did the news item that became the basis of the charge come out? It came out only after the cybercrime protection law was passed because, sabi ng court, no, nagkaroon ka ng republication. Para inatras nila ngayon yung
Kailan yung republication nangyari, Ted?
Sinasabi dito, 2014 daw.
So 2012 yung artikulo, 2012, 2014 nagkaroon ng republication. Okay.
At ang sinabi ng court na republication ay batay lamang dun sa salitang updated, no? In-update kasi yung article. Ano yung nangyari sa update? Ang nangyari sa update, pinalitan yung isang letra. Yung word na evasion, yung una ay nagkaroon ng typo, no? Na-spell siya na EVATION. So mali yung spelling. Napansin afterwards, no? Pinalitan, ginawang S. Tinama yung spelling. Walang ibang binagdag, walang ibang binago dun sa item na yon. As is yon. Yun ang naging batayan ngayon for the court to say, for the DOJ and also for the court to say, nagkaroon ng republication. Ngayon, malinaw,
Sandali.
Yes.
Bakilinaw mo nga yan kasi parang weird eh. Dahil kung lumabas noong 2012, hindi ka nagdemanda. 2013, hindi ka pa rin nagdemanda.
Tama yan.
2014, bigla ka ngayon nagdedemanda. Oh, well, of course, doesn't matter kasi wala nga kamong prescription period eh. Anong kaibahan? Anong kaibahan nung pinrint nung unang publication at pangalawang publication in terms of legal, in terms of libel, in terms of the legal law?
Ang pinagkaiba nun is that nung 2012, nung unang lumabas yung article, wala pang cyber libel. Wala pa. So cyber libel came out only sometime in October of 2012 if I'm not mistaken, no? So at nagkaroon ng period of time from 2012 to about 2014 that naka-TRO yung batas eh. Tini-RO ng Korte Suprema yan. So effectively walang batas on cyber libel kasi tini-RO eh hindi mag-ooperate, walang krimen na cyber libel until na-decide yung Dicini versus Secretary of Justice. Okay. Doon lang nilift yung TRO. Doon lang nagkaroon ng bintay batas. Yun yung sinasabi natin retroactive. Pina-atras nila ngayon dun sa 2012 publication at yung 2014 publication.
Okay.
So doon na yung problema.
Punta tayo sa usapang kanto, no? Kasi yung mga para sa gustong maintindihan to. Kasi dahil nga doon sa kaso ng tatay ko, tsaka pinag-aralan ko ito sa UP, no, nag-mascom ako, ito yung unang mga tinuro sa amin. Yung mga batas na kailangan alam mo while you are doing your job as a journalist. Now, in any case, alam ko that, kunyari, may pinablish ako, pwedeng sumulat sa editor yung taong nasaktan o naturingan, and he can say, I demand a retraction or I demand the airing of my side. Ngayon, and then, kasi ginamit pa nga nila example yan sa tatay ko na nag-offer ng apology yung tatay ko. Kasi ang posisyon ng tatay ko, hindi naman kita binabastos o tinatawag na duwag. Gumamit ako ng figure of speech, pero kung nasaktan ka, di sige, magsusorry ako. I mean, it was sabihin mo na, a gentlemanly act or a professional act na nag-apologize siya. In the case of Maria Ressa and Rappler, what happened? Did the plaintiff o yung nagdidemanda nagsabi bang, teka, medyo nabastos naman kami dyan sa paratang ninyo, pakiayos nyo naman yan? Kasi parang ang lumalabas sa dyaryo, nagsabi si Mr. King, pero binaliwala siya ng Rappler.
Tama yun, ano? Hindi naman siya binaliwala. Unang-una, nagkaroon ng reach out, no, yung abogado ni Mr. King, si Attorney Nards de Vera, at pinaabot niya through channels, no, dun sa mga kakilala niya sa Rappler na, may problema. Okay. Pinakinggan yon ng Rappler, nagpadala ng reporter to talk to the lawyer, no. Mahalagang distinction, hindi si Mr. King himself, no, it is the lawyer ang kausap nitong reporter. So kumbaga sa filter, meron na may filter na kasi abogado yung kausap niya, hindi ito yung mismong complainant, no? Anyway, nagkaroon ng pag-uusap, nilahad ng abogado yung concerns ni Mr. King, no? Ito yung ganito, ito yung position ni Mr. King, ito. So ngayon, siyempre, ang trabaho ng reporter doon ay gumawa ng draft, batay doon sa interview niya, batay doon sa pag-uusap nila, at ibigay doon sa kanyang editor. Ngayon, umabot yon, may draft yon, at malinaw yon, napag-usapan sa court yon, no? And based doon sa draft, no, dahil nga una, abogado yung kausap, hindi si Mr. King himself, no? Kailangan may verification. Ano bang totoo dito? At meron ding mga issues regarding some of the statements that were made, no? And so, nagkaroon ng process na gano'n. Internal process yon ng Rappler, no? It's an internal process before any story is sent. So, yun. That's the reason why that particular draft, no, did not come out, no? Kasi nga nag-imbestiga pa sila. And by the time, and this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was very close to the election, nagkaroon na ng marami ibang story na pumasok, no? But the issue here, Cito, is this, no? Doon sa judgment ng RTC, dito tumutok yung judge, no? Dito nag-focus yung judge. At ang sa pananaw niya, ito ay malis, no?
Ayun.
Itong problema ngayon, no? Dahil nga at ito yung sinasabi natin, may implikasyon, no, sa press freedom. Kasi nga ang pag ito ay nangyari at sinabing itong decision ay tama, na kapag humingi ng apology at hindi binigay yung apology, basta-basta lang, no, hindi binigay. Kung ano man yung dahilan, kung may internal process man, may investigation man na gawin, no, ay malis at ay libel. Medyo delikado, no? May panganib doon. Now, nandyan na tayo sa issue ng dapat tama ba o mali na hindi naglabas ng version ni Mr. King to his lawyers, no? But is that a legal element of cyber libel? No, yun yung doon yung disagreement namin, no, dahil nga kapag yan ay kinonsider natin na malis, yan ay kinonsider natin na element ng cyber libel, then it becomes very easy for someone to say, I have a 12-year period to sue you on an online publication, and I can just simply say, okay, I want an outright apology, and if you don't give me that apology, it becomes libel. No?
Okay. Pero ang tanong, I guess, Ted, no, kasi kapos tayo sa oras, you understand how it works. Ang tanong ng marami dito, paano na ngayon si Maria? Kasi honestly, no, when I saw it, I thought the judgment was just a fine of 200,000. Pero yung following day lang lumabas yung 6 years, parang sabi ko, teka, medyo iba na yata ang usapan niyang 6 years. Ganun na naman. Parang nothing has changed. My dad has been dead for more than 25 years. And Jesus Christ, I mean, we're still going to send people to jail for 6 years. Paano usapan? Are you guys, would your client consider filing for probation given that no contest kayo dito? I'm calling it. Ted. Okay, no contest kayo dito because of the powers that be. Sa dami na naging kaaway nila ng Rappler, and the way the law has been written and is being interpreted, medyo no contest. I don't want to discourage Maria. No, I'm referring to a state of affairs.
Yes.
Would you guys consider the suggestion by some people in Malacanang na mag-file na lang kayo ng probation?
Tama yun, Cito. And in fact, that's a very astute observation, no. Malakas ang kalaban, napakalakas, no. And we know the odds that are stacked against the Maria and Ray Santos, no. There are two accused here. Now, yes, it is a probationable offense, under 6 years siya. Pero kailangan din namin tingnan yung ibang aspeto dito. The truth is, we have yet to come up with a final decision on what to do. Probation is one of the remedies that's available. A motion for reconsideration is one of the remedies that's still available. An appeal is still one of the remedies that's available. So we have a 15-day period from June. And so, yes, we will talk about it and we will consider it. Again, probation is on the table. It is one of the legal remedies. As a lawyer, I have to seriously discuss that with the clients and say, look, these are the pros and cons. And as I have actually also pointed out, as you pointed out, no, na napakalakas ng kalaban. But yes,
I know your client. I mean, she's a tough cookie. She did not become the Maria Ressa we know for being weak. Okay, so what are the chances that she's going to stick it out and tell you, Ted, I want to take this all the way to the Supreme Court and maybe pray that what are the chances also that quickly na lang, Ted, that you could stretch this until the current administration is no longer in power?
You know her very well. So let's just say that para lang hindi matali yung aming mga pag-uusap, no? Nandyan yan. No, nandyan yung ganung statement. Nandyan yung ganung state of mind ni Maria.
Okay, so as a lawyer and someone who has experience with all of this, pwede bang umabot ito hanggang Supreme Court and extend it until after the Duterte administration?
Well, posibleng aabot ang Korte Suprema to pag hindi kami nagtagumpay sa Court of Appeals, appeal, pwede umabot ng Korte Suprema at maaaring tumagal nga ito dahil nga dun sa siyempre sa dami ng kasong hinahawakan ng Korte Suprema, maaaring nga tumagal ito.
Okay, well, Ted, thank you very much for your insights, and I do wish your client well, and I do hope that the Supreme Court at some point, actually, it's no longer about Maria, as you rightly pointed out. This law has to be corrected for whatever defects there are, and I hope either the Congress or the Supreme Court corrects it. Thank you very much, Ted.
Thank you, Cito. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Attorney Theodore Te, former spokesperson of the Supreme Court, and we hope that Congress will correct whatever infirmities, defects the cyber law has, particularly prescription period. Pagpasensya niyo na po ako kasi I'm currently nagluluksa na po ako because sa pagpanaw ni Ambassador Danding Coangco. Okay, next, let's go to our next guest, Mayor Alfred Romualdez of Tacloban City. Mayor Alfred, magandang umaga sa iyo. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Sipo.
Okay, yesterday, I found out or I heard that medyo nagka-problema kayo dyan sa Tacloban, and now it's actually news in Manila that there has been community transmissions in Tacloban of COVID-19. Ano ba talaga nangyari? Kasi mukhang nagka-problema daw dyan sa regional hospital. Hindi ko pasensya na, hindi ko alam yung pangalan ng hospital ninyo dyan. Pero parang dyan daw nagsimula. At saka naka-shutdown daw yung hospital na yan.
Yeah, actually, ang problema niyan, it started in fact about 2 months ago. The first case of COVID-19 local transmission came from also a hospital in Samar. It started with a doctor and it spread sa nurse and sa administrative officer. In fact, that happened 2 months ago, and up to now, they still have local transmission there. And in fact, the DOH gave priority to that about 2 months ago. I still don't understand. Up to now, yesterday, may dalawa pa nag-test positive. Now, yesterday, when we got the news that there's about 16 residents of Tacloban that were positive, so inimbestigahan namin to at nakita namin there are the 16 residents are 6 doctors, 7 nurses, 2 nursing attendants, 2 radiology technicians, and 1 ambulance driver. And they're all coming from the Eastern Visayas Medical Center. And an additional 4 coming from the Leyte Provincial Hospital. Now, it's really alarming because alam nyo, itong nangyayaring balik probinsya, silang na pupuntirya at sinasabi kasalanan nila. Work for 2 weeks, then the asked to rest for about a week. And yung week na yun, they're being tested, no? But apparently, what was done in EVRMC, they were given an option that pwede silang umuwi. So that is one of the
Okay.
skills that we're having now. But if we go further than that, if you look that it's understandable if you have one case, but if you have 16 cases all coming from one hospital, my golly, there's a problem with their protocol there. In fact, we've been receiving is we had one positive patient that went into a private hospital But when she was told how much that the bill that she was going to pay, she escaped from that hospital and she ran and she said she cannot afford to
Mhm.
stay in the hospital. Ang concern ko dito, nakikita ko dito, maraming may sakit, maraming ano, kahit hindi positive, the mere fact sinara mo, is that the right protocol? It is the only hospital, kawawa na itong mga mahihirap na to, lalo na wala na nga mga trabaho. Ni-lockdown natin na matagal, tatakbo sila sa hospital na yan, the only tertiary hospital. Even to give birth, you cannot give birth because they shut down the operating room.
So
That is
what alternatives do you have there? Because I'm presuming at siguro maraming nag-iakala na okay, nasara yung Eastern Visayas Medical Center. Wala na bang ibang yung mga quarantine stations or triage, etc. Kasi sa ibang probinsya may mga ganon or ibang syudad may mga ganon.
Well, I think, Secretary Duque should be aware of this and should act immediately because from what I know, even in hospitals in Manila, if the doctors or nurses test positive, they isolate the doctors and the nurse, but you don't close the hospital. Even though you
Mhm.
have to disinfect the hospital, it will only take a few minutes or maybe a few hours or so. Hindi
Mhm.
dapat isara yan. Dapat i-isolate yung mga doktor. So there are protocols that I think are not being followed and
Mhm.
or protocols that should be corrected.
What,
And ang
what about
problema
what
the
what
problem
about
here
rapid
is
testing?
I'm sorry, but yeah, rapid testing also. But the problem is local governments like kami mayors and governors, we have
Mhm.
no jurisdiction over a regional hospital. That's directly under the national government. Now,
Mhm.
our problem here now is that our protocols being followed. Obviously, titignan natin, dapat it's the only regional hospital. Do they have proper equipment there? Kung doon nagsisimula, hindi naman namin pwede quarantine yung hospital na yan. In fact, Sito, when we
Mhm.
locked down Tacloban back in March, I was very concerned that I made sure that the regional hospital was still accessible to everyone who needed medical attention.
Mhm.
And now, the problem is they locked down the hospital. And, paano ngayon itong 6 provinces na umaasa ang mga may hirap? Tertiary It's a tertiary hospital. That's the
Mhm.
problem there.
So hindi lang Tacloban, Leyte ang apektado sa pagsasara ng Eastern Visayas Medical Center. Other
Ang whole
other
region, 6 provinces are affected here.
wow. Okay.
And I know for a fact that that's not the protocol. If you have a problem there na contaminated yung mga ibang mga doktor dyan at nurses dyan, ina-isolate sila.
Oh.
Pagkatapos, bibigyan mga bagong nurse, tuloy-tuloy pa rin dapat ang operation ng hospital.
Mhm.
But kailangan imbestigahin na rin yan because obviously, like sa BFP, meron dyan na nagkaroon ng infeksyon. Isa lang. Pero ito, bakit 20? I mean, that's a lot. If you have about 18, 20, that's a lot of people who get infected, definitely. And we're hearing talks now that apparently the nurses there are, lack of supply of PPEs, lack of supply of so many things. But I know the national government supports that hospital and a lot of money is given to them. So why do they have that problem? And
Mhm.
now the PNP is double timing because if these doctors and nurses were allowed to go home, then now we have to isolate their families already. So
Yeah,
hindi tayo pinahirapan
that brings us to the next problem kasi balita na nga dito kumalat na raw nagkaroon na raw ng community transmission. How widespread is the community transmission? Is
That's
it
the
still
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yun ang pinapaimbestiga namin. In fact, the PNP nagdo-double time since last night, checking on the family members, all those. They're doing contact tracing, no?
Mhm.
But this is something that should have been avoided, especially now that we've learned already. I mean, this happened February, March in Manila.
Mhm.
Obviously, we've learned about this. I mean, this is the only hospital that I know. Ito na nangyari. Sa Cebu, marami silang cases. Hindi naman nila lockdown yung hospital doon because there are protocols. There are other private hospitals also here that have accepted positive patients and they never got, this kind of contamination na umaabot ng 18 to 20. I mean, that's a
Mhm.
lot. In fact, they're
Okay.
still waiting for results of others that they tested in that hospital. So I think really the national government has to look into this. I hope Secretary Wilduque will send a team. Wag lang siyang hihingi ng report kung ano ba yung report na yan. Padala siya ng team dito, investigahin yan. Because,
Have you actually called Secretary Duque?
no, I've not yet called him.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't have access to him. But
Yeah, well, I'll see if my staff can actually connect to him now, or I will try to reach out to him during the break. But other than the fact that you need Secretary Duque to act on it, I suppose we will just go for a quick break, Mayor Alfred. We're having technical difficulty on our side. We'll get back to you, and I'll see if we can also get Secretary Duque.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. We'll go for a quick break. We're having a technical difficulty at the studio, and we'll be back. Okay, we are back here on agenda, and let's reconnect with Mayor Alfred Romualdez once again. Mayor, you mentioned earlier there has been a 18 to 20 frontliners infected with COVID-19 dyan sa Eastern Visayas Medical Center. And now, and the cause you believe is the fact that instead of following the protocol provided by the city where all the medical frontliners are checked in, quartered in 2 hotels that the city is paying for, pinayagan yung ilang doktor o nurse na makauwi sa mga pamilya nila at doon nagka-problema at nagkaroon na ng outbreak. Now, we left off with you saying that you are calling the attention of Secretary Duque to investigate this and not just to ask for reports. Ganun ba kahina yung monitoring system dyan by your estimate?
Definitely, no. First of all, if you have about 18 or 20 that got infected, you have to realize that most of the COVID-19 positive, I would say, all those positive came through our airports, came through our ports, and came through by land in our checkpoints. So the frontliners there are okay. Sa Kaap, makikita mo, ilan airplano nang dumating ng mga OFW. Marami doon nag-positive. But we don't have a case of a flight attendant getting, infected. We don't have a case of a Kaap member or even the PNP airport police, or even the ambulance, more or less safe eh. Bakit dito sa ospital mismo na umaabot ng 18 to 20? And the problem there is we lack credibility now. We're telling the public that as long as you wear a mask and you do social distancing, you are safe. And now we have doctors, 6 doctors, 7 nurses, 2 nursing attendants, 2 rad techs, and 1 ambulance driver. Practically the entire hospital, is vulnerable. So, sinasabi namin dito, may problema talaga sila sa protocols nila, may problema sa equipment nila, and basically, these people are also residents of Tacloban, and they're telling us that they're not given proper equipment.
Okay,
So,
now here's the problem. As you may recall, pagka ganyang kadami at sudden yung outbreak, may protocol na yung kayo, MGCQ na yata kayo or GCQ, ay baka
Right.
mabalik kayo sa ECQ ngayon.
Exactly. That might happen. That's why I want first now, kailangan ngayon. That's why sige namin ng the issue there is whether GCQ, MGCQ, for me, that's not really too much the issue. The issue is how we're gonna, we're working double time now in contact tracing and how I can isolate now this possible spread, no? Because these who were infected have been going home to their families. Now we're tracing the families now, and we're moving now to isolate them and quarantine them.
Do you have the facilities?
We have the facilities because, alam mo, Cito, kasi marami dyan, why will we spend 50 million, 30 million in building a facility? Why don't I just help the private sector and rent their hotel for $500,000 a month and have 50 rooms to use? And in 2 weeks' time, they're cleared, we let them go. And we're helping also the private sector. If we start building quarantine areas and all, hindi matatapos yan in 6 months. Matagal yan. Parang Yolanda yan, gumawa ng bank houses, ang tagal-tagal. NHA, gagawa ng mga bahay, taon aabutin yan. Di gamitin na lang natin yung mga hotel dito na wala naman mga negosyo, matulungan pang private sector. Itong ginagawa namin. That's why these are being used as quarantine facilities. But what I'm saying now, we have a problem here because if our doctors, nurses, all of this, the hospital, kung mismanage yan, bakit doon nag-umpisa yung spread at ganyang karami? Understandable if it is 1 or 2, yes, okay. Yung ambulance driver, let's say, nakaligtaan. But may gali, sabay-sabay ito, maabot tayo ng 16. And I'm saying this, I'm speaking out this way because I don't want the balik probinsya people na naghirap na sila sa Manila para makauwi dito tapos sila pang sisisihin. Hindi nila kasalanan yan eh. Hindi nila kasalanan yan. Alam na natin, pinaghandaan sila. Pagdating, we welcome them, pinaghandaan. Pero ang nangyari dito, may gali, parang we shot ourselves in the foot na dito pa in our own backyard, dito pa nangyari. Iyon ang kinalulungkot ko. Bakit naman ganyan? So, somebody should investigate what the hell happened there eh. We cannot afford mistakes like that. Ngayon na ngayon, patapos na ito. We're already June 16, 17. Halos tapos na ito. Cleared na kami dito. Pagkatapos, we will have this incident na we're back to square one. Ang dami ng hirap. We spent already so much money in the last 2 months. All the relief and all these efforts. Pagkatapos, dito pa sa ospital. And the worst part about it, you close that. You're depriving now the poor of the poor on having medical, treatment. That is the worst thing there. Yan, doon ako talaga nag-aalala na sinara yung hospital na yan, like the city hospital, we are not a tertiary hospital. We cannot, we don't have even an ICU. So most of the equipment is really in the regional hospital and private hospitals. And in the private hospitals, majority of the poor, big number, 90% ng mga mahihirap, hindi kaya nila yan. So, saan ngayon pupunta itong mga mahihirap? Dito ko talagang sumasamang loob ko because of this.
Okay, now, ikaw, mayor ka, you're not a governor, so clearly your access to your available funds are not that large, but nonetheless, you are a highly urbanized city. What are the chances of Tacloban simply putting up its own big hospital? Kasi parang never ending na yung problema dyan. Tinamaan ka ng Yolanda, inaway ka pa ng mga national officials. Pagkatapos ngayon, meron kang COVID-19, wala naman kayong hospital dahil nagka-problema yung regional hospital. Is Tacloban City in a position to put up its own big hospital given that there are many potential patients and clients in the region?
Yes, but the problem there is this: the regional hospital is being used by the entire region. I'm not speaking out here only for Tacloban residents because many of the Tacloban residents also go to private hospitals. I'm speaking for outside of Tacloban because majority and 90% ng mga pasyente talaga pumupunta sa Eastern Visayas Regional Hospital come from the poor of the poorest. If you close that hospital, they have no other tertiary hospital to go to except the private hospitals, which they clearly cannot afford. And
Okay.
at this time now that we are all aware of this COVID-19, by the way, ang Eastern Visayas Hospital kasi, dalawa ho yun eh. Yung isa, ginawa nilang COVID-19. The other one is not COVID-19. But both of them got infected. Both hospitals are shut down because of this issue.
So it's not just a wing. The entire facility, the
It's
regional
the entire
hospital,
hospital.
is shut down. Now, gaano katagal daw yung shutdown?
Wala, nakalagay doon. Nag-announce sila kagabi till further notice.
Okay, because in some, I mean, our barangay hall here was shut down, and I think it's going to be shut down for a few days or a week to decontaminate the facility. Pero barangay hall yun, hindi urgent necessity yun. Sa inyo, regional hospital.
Hindi, parang sinabi mo, Sito, nagkaroon ng nagkahawaan doon, siguro 6 doctors, 10 doctors, 7 doctors of PGH, and then you close down the entire PGH. Mukhang mali yata yun, di ba? Dapat i-isolate mo yung mga doktor, i-isolate mo yung mga nurses, lahat yan, tuloy yung operation ng hospital.
Kamusta ba ang COVID-19 situation dyan sa Tacloban or in the Eastern Visayas Medical Center? Kasi sabi mo, 18 to 20 doctors, nurses, technicians, and driver. Di ang daming nahawa ng mga taong yon.
That is what now we're investigating because the results only came out yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
You know, the results na itong nahawan. Because of contact tracing, they tested now these doctors and nurses all in EBRMC. Now, they found out that they're positive.
And they're not just Tacloban, you said. So if
No,
they're
because
treating people from the region, di nag-uwian na rin yung mga na-infect nila to the other provinces.
That most likely yan ang nangyari. Yun ang kinakabahan namin.
Okay.
Because the regional hospital is situated inside the city of Tacloban, but as mayor of Tacloban, I do not have jurisdiction over the regional hospital that is directly under the Department of Health sa national government yan. In fact, even the governors have no jurisdiction over that. Sa governor, provincial hospital, sa city government, city hospital. So, ang inaalala lang namin, everybody's doing the best they can, everybody's doing their share, and here we have now, you know, what we least expect, it came from the regional hospital, but this many. It's normally understood na isa lang siguro maapektuhan dyan, pero bakit umaabot ng 18? So there is clearly something wrong. And you know, most of these people, and many of them live in Tacloban, and they've talked already that they're not having proper equipment. Hindi daw sila binibigyan ng mga PPEs, hindi sila binibigyan ng kung ano-ano. Maybe now, that's why you find out. Doctors are made to buy their own PPEs, from what I heard. So where is the money going? You know, all this support going to that regional hospital, where is the money going? How come they don't have proper equipment there? Why are they keep preaching to the people what to do, and they themselves are the ones spreading it?
Okay, well, I've texted Secretary Duque to hopefully invite him to come on the show via internet, and we will ask him those questions. In the meantime, just as a summary, you did not have problems with Balik Provincia returnees going through Tacloban. Your frontliners at the airport have had no contamination.
That's
the
right.
local situation is under control, but the
That's right.
problem was at the regional hospital.
Yes. The
Okay,
problem
well,
is
we will follow up on the story and follow up with the Secretary Duque, Mayor Romualdez, and I hope that the situation does not really get out of hand, that there has been no serious community transmission. Please do let us know what the developments are in the coming days. Thank you very much.
thank you, Cito. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mayor Alfred Romualdez of Tacloban City, at para doon po sa inyong mga nahuli nalaglag dahil nagka-technical difficulty tayo, sinasabi lang ni Mayor Romualdez na hindi sila nagka-problema sa mga balik probinsya, mga returnees, mga dumadaan o sa Tacloban Airport o sa mga pantalan o sa panglupang sasakyan, at walang nagkasakit sa kanilang mga tao na nagproseso ng mga balik probinsya returnees. Ang problema, nagkaroon po ng pagkalat ng COVID-19 sa loob ng Eastern Visayas Medical Center. Yun po sabi ni Mayor Romualdez, at may anim na doktor, 7 nurse, may mga medical technician, driver, etc. ang nagtest na positive for the COVID-19. And right now, that's an issue there because the entire regional hospital had to be shut down. Ngayon, ang problema po walang ibang malaking hospital, and that Eastern Visayas Medical Center services, I think, 6 provinces, as Mayor Romualdez pointed out. And ang kinapuputok ng butse, what really annoys Mayor Romualdez, is the fact that they already leased 2 hotels para tulugan, pahingahan, check-in for medical frontliners. They will stay in the hotels during a 21-day period, if I'm not mistaken. They would spend 14 days working and then 7 days placed under observation if meron silang symptoms before they can be released to the general population. So, ayun po, medyo naasar si Mayor Romualdez kasi may libre na ngang kwarto, meron na ngang hotel, bakit pinayagan pang umuwi yung mga ilang nurse at doktor, at ayan, nagkahawa-hawa na sa hospital. Okay, let's move on with the program. At this stage, still connected to this COVID-19 concerns, we have with us a public health epidemiologist. Excuse me. He is currently working with the Senate Committee on Health. We have Dr. Troy Gepte. Dr. Troy, welcome back sa programa.
Magandang umaga, Cito, and sa ating mga tagapanood.
Okay, may katanungan dito, no, kasi medyo marami na nagre-react doon sa ginagawa natin sa ACQ, GCQ, MGCQ, etc. Ang katanungan, kasi let me set it correctly, no, yung context sa Dr. Troy. There is an uncertainty whether we are winning or losing. Kasi pag pinakinggan ko yung mga nagtagapagsalita o yung mga nasa IATF, sinasabi nilang nasa GCQ tayo pero tumataas ang kaso, etc. Ano bang mga readings mo dito sa problema natin with COVID-19?
Thanks for the question, Cito, at sa yung opportunity to explain. Bali, ang nangyari kasi dun sa mga decisions natin to transition from ECQ to GCQ, modified GCQ, it all depends kasi dun sa nakikita natin sa numbers. But then again, ang problem natin kasi the numbers that we get are, as you said, nasa uncertainty tayo kasi nga there has been a lot of difficulty in obtaining the correct numbers, in accuracy of our data. And as you know, for about the past few months, meron tayo mga hinahandle na mga backlogs. The backlogs all emanate kasi they are caused by yung different adjustments to our systems and procedures. Lalo-lalo na dun sa communication and coordination between our laboratories and our epidemiology bureau sa Department of Health. So in spite of that though, tinatry natin na maayos ito. And I think about a few weeks ago, we had a classification of yung mga fresh and yung mga late cases. A lot of flack has been incurred dun sa na-experience ng DOH about how DOH tried to be transparent about it, but also at the same time, they were prone to yung criticism as to why we can't really have the correct numbers as they come. So anong nangyayari, para lagi tayong medyo nasa-surprise na everyday ba, ito na ba yung totoo o hindi? But what will be a good lead for us now, right now, is that tinitingnan natin yung fresh cases eh. The trends have been more, parang, how do you say it, more reflective of what's happening now. So dun sa nakikita natin, and the decision of the President and the DOH really anchored their decision on dun sa numbers of recent weeks. Nakikita natin na nasusustain pa rin natin kasi yung medyo mataas na level of number of cases eh. This has got something to do with yung ating ability to conduct the tests more efficiently and to be able to report and collate the information and to present it as soon as possible. In epidemiology though, ang mahalaga kasi in public health epidemiology, there is a lot of uncertainties that we need to handle. May certain kind of difficulty dun sa, this is a new disease kasi, and pag may mga new diseases or new incidents or outbreaks, we need to get data as fast as we can. Yung accuracy though, nagsasuffer ng konti yan kasi hindi natin nakukuha talaga yung ideal situation where we can get data. Hindi nakaset up yung mga laboratories or our health workers are still trying to adjust to how they will report. But even that, having said that, kailangan talaga natin makuha yung enough data for us to provide parang points for decision making. And dapat itong mga points ito for decision making will lead to concrete actions. And as we are now, I'm not sure, Cito, I think we're almost like a week, 2 weeks na ba or more sa GCQ sa Metro Manila. I think medyo nagsasanay na tayo, but syempre may mga gusto sa atin na mabuksan yung economy, yung ating mga businesses, sana back to work tayo. The transportation sector is really trying to adjust dun sa demands kasi ang dami gustong pumasok. Kakaroon tayo ng mga bike lanes. Dapat gwardiyan ng mga police yung mga bus, mga jeep. So talagang sobrang daming adjustments.
Okay, but the question is this, Dr. Troy, no? First question, yung fresh cases, pag sinabing fresh cases, ano bang ibig sabihin natin? Kasi marami naguguluhan eh. Sinasabi nung iba, hindi kasi maraming numbers ngayon dahil nakakapag-test na. Pero hindi naman nililinaw kung, hindi kasi binilang namin lahat ng pumasok sa hospital na may symptom. Kasi may mga nagsasabing walang symptom, may asymptomatic, merong walang sakit, etc. Pero when you say fresh cases, yan ba yung may tama at kita mong may tama at nandoon sa hospital?
Yeah, actually, more or less tama yung pagkakasabi mo, Cito. Yung fresh cases, ito yung mga 3 days or less than 3 days na nakita at ito yung nag-present sa mga hospital in recent days. So ito yung mga nire-report agad. Unfortunately, hindi lahat ng hospital at hindi lahat ng laboratories nakaka-perform at their peak performance. Talagang sa sobrang daming na nag-try na mag-set up ng kanilang mga RT-PCR laboratories and also for the hospitals to accommodate as many patients as they can, hindi nila nagagawang maipadala, mai-collate yung mga information nila. Kaya nangyayari, minsan parang ganito rin sa election eh, yung mga election returns natin, parang minsan bugso-bugso, imbis na tuloy-tuloy. Kaya minsan, biglang magkakaroon ng jump dun sa number of cases. And this is what actually is happening to our reporting system.
Okay,
Yes,
so assuming we're on the right track now, meron sinulat sa Philippine Star based on the DOH data, 364 cases today, no, new cases.
Yes.
So sinasabi mong mga 2-3 days, 3 days na mga may symptom na, nasa hospital. So, actual cases ng COVID nasa hospital. Ngayon, if we now have this 364, anong ibig sabihin nito? What we are doing is ineffective kasi we have the longest quarantine and ngayon, wala na akong nakikitang naglalakad sa labas na walang face mask, lahat praning na, lahat naliligo na sa alcohol almost, pero pataas pa rin yung kaso. Where is the problem, and does this say whatever we're doing is not working?
Yeah, I have two parts do sa answer ko. The first one is that when we try to look at the numbers, we try to base our trends, yung nakikita natin, based dun sa yung tinatawag nilang epidemic curve. Yung epidemic curve is parang a graph yan to show kung ano yung taas at baba ng pagdami ng mga kaso from the date of onset of their illness. Used to be na nire-report natin siya as they were reported on the date of the reporting. Pero tinama natin to eventually dun sa Department of Health when we got more complete data, more accurate information. There were some times na hindi kasi automated tayo dun sa mga forms na pag sinusulat ito, kulang-kulang yung mga information. So binabalik-balikan to ng mga epidemiologists and disease surveillance officers. We don't have that many epidemiologists and we're trying to hire more for us to help them in their work. So yung epidemic curve in recent months, medyo dun sa first talaga tumaas siya and then medyo nagsastabilize. And then when we had different regions reporting, different cities na nagkakaroon ng mga kaso, ngayon pa nagkaroon tayo ng balik probinsya, yung hatid dun sa mga locally stranded
LSI.
individuals. Nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga ibang regions that are contributing to the epidemic curve. But in spite of that, we are trying to see kung nagkakaroon ba ng decrease. I think this epidemic curve that they released recently, the DOH yata provided an epidemic curve, nakakakita tayo ng mga parang decrease, but this is still subject to verification. So we are like in other countries as well, trying to cope with a great number of cases. We have in our neighbors dito sa ASEAN, both Indonesia and Malaysia, trying to also cope with the great number of cases. So tayo, archipelagic kasi tayo kaya mahirap yung sistema nung kung paano ba natin bububuin yung mga information at data na to. And every LGU needs to be prepared. And having said that, yung second part of my answer is that basically very straightforward naman kasi ang ating plan. It's just that how we can get by using that particular strategy of yung physical social distancing, yung pag-wear ng mask. At importante yung as soon as we detect cases, symptomatic cases, we bring them to the necessary quarantine or isolation facilities for them to be monitored for the exact number of days. And then if they have any other symptoms or complications, they get referred as early as possible to the hospitals para maagapan sila. The good news in the past month is that medyo hindi ganun ka-utilize yung ating mga healthcare facilities for COVID-19. Yung mga ICUs, mga ventilators. But in spite of that, medyo tinitigasan-tigasan natin ngayon na dapat maghanda-handa tayo dito sa pagdami ng kaso. I think some of our hospitals, including PGH, medyo dumadami ngayon and that's something to look into na baka there is a trend na tumataas siya in specific locations within Metro Manila and in other cities.
The treatment success rate for treatment seems to be increasing by the day. Now, there is this, ewan ko, no, kasi may mga nagsasabi, baka mas maigip, pakawalan na lang natin yung mga tao at paghandaan na lang ng mga hospital. Kasi inevitable hindi natin pwedeng ikulong ang mga Pilipino hanggang December. Pag ginawa natin yan, patay na yung ekonomiya natin, 100%. Now, some people are saying, and I'm not, I'm not going to take sides on it. I'm just putting the question there. Wouldn't it be better to concentrate on the ability to cure the disease, manage the disease, para magkaroon na rin tayo ng herd immunity rather than confined people na parang nagtatago sa mga bahay at nag-iingat sa kalaban na hindi naman naalis. Nag-iintay lang yung kalaban sa labas ng bahay.
Mm. Yung reason yata kung bakit tayo nagkaroon ng mga community quarantine levels, meron tayong MECQ, ECQ, GCQ, modified GCQ, is to calibrate ourselves so that paunti-unti tayong lalabas. So medyo we need to come up with a plan na nakakasundo tayo kung ano yung kakayanin ng local government units, ng mga barangays para ma-monitor natin ang sarili natin. Hindi
Yeah.
pwede tayo magkumpul-kumpulan at sabay-sabay lalabas. On
But
the
kaya
other hand,
naman, Dr. Troy, because I only have 2 minutes left with you,
yes.
I just need to ask, as far as medicine
Sure.
is concerned, don't we have the right medicines already or the right protocol? Kasi mataas ang success rate. In fact, may mga hospital nga, parang marketing strategy na nila na pag tinamaan kayo ng COVID, punta kayo dito sa hospital na ito. Walang namamatay sa COVID dito. Parang ganun. Ano? So, we're talking remdesivir. Last night, another one came out, yung parang anti-inflammatory, yung
Yes, yung
Metasone or something.
dexamethasone.
Dexamethasone. Oh.
Yes.
Now, wala pa ba? Don't we have sufficient medicine and protocol out there to equip us to deal with more cases?
Yeah. Thank you for the chance to clarify. Bale, nakikita natin kasi yung case fatality rate due to COVID-19 has decreased. Bale, we are looking at a few cases na namamatay daily. Dati-rati kasi ang bilis ng pagdami niyan, especially in March and early April, I think. So there were a lot of healthcare workers that got infected and who also unfortunately passed away. So we definitely got better at this over time. So from the start until now, scientists, doctors, researchers have tried to provide a lot of information. Even though hindi tapos yung mga clinical trials na yan, nagbibigay na sila ng advice as to what kind of medicines will work. Yung nagkaroon tayo ng mga medicines like hydroxychloroquine and itong napabalita nga sa dexamethasone. These are very promising medicines and we actually have these available. It's just that we need to carefully monitor our patients for any of the yung effectiveness, at the same time yung side effects ng mga medicines ito. Kaya we need to be careful that the medicine that we give won't actually be parang worse than kung ano yung tinitreat natin. So
may
kailangan talaga
laban
nag-iingat lang tayo.
Okay, sabi nga
May
nila,
laban na.
kung tiga-UP ka, ewan ko kung tiga-UP ka o tiga-UST, pero sabi nga natin, may laban na tayo, but wag lang sabi mo, wag lang babaha. Kasi pag bumaha ng pasyente, kokonti naman ang mga doktor at ang mga frontliners.
Yes. Ayaw natin ma-overwhelm yung health system natin. Kaya tama Cito. So, kailangan alalay lang tayo para matugunan natin yung mga needs ng mga patients natin if they come.
Okay, thank you Dr. Troy Gepte, because at least naliwanagan mo na yung sinasabing new cases ay actually three-day-old cases, hindi ito kasama yung mga asymptomatic, yung mga gumaling na, etc. Thank you very much Dr. Troy, and please ikaw mag-ingat dahil nasa frontline ka rin.
Stay safe then, Cito. Thank you.
Okay, that's Dr. Troy Gepte. He is a consultant of the Senate for medical concerns. And now, at this juncture, we would like to go to our news correspondent, TV5, and one news correspondent, Shaila Francisco, and we will talk to her about this. Shaila, nasaan ka, anak? Okay,
Good morning,
Shaila, we have...
Tito.
Yun, okay, good morning.
Nasa Taguig tayo ngayon.
Medyo kakaiba yung setting na yan. Para kang tourist na nasa hotel or something.
Yes,
Okay,
very at home.
okay, we have a slight delay in the broadcast, but in any case, Shaila, could you give us an update regarding what's happening in the Department of Agriculture? Kasi lumalabas yung balita na nagkaroon daw yata ng parang expose or nagkabistuhan na may fertilizer scam dyan sa Department of Agriculture in Luzon. Please go ahead, Shaila.
Yes, Sito, farmers and farmer groups have been questioning the alleged overprice supply contracts on the fertilizers procured by the DA. Just to give you a context, the fertilizers that the DA will be or have been procuring will be given to the farmers via a buy to take to scheme and will help them increase palay production to ensure food supply amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in the bidding, the ceiling price is set at 1,000 pesos per bag. The DA said that they were able to actually save because they were able to procure these fertilizers at 900 to 995 pesos per bag. But the farmers and farmer groups are questioning, bakit masyadong mataas yung ceiling price and yung price na nakuha nila. Because if you look at the market during the period daw of the bidding, the price of the fertilizers, urea fertilizers in particular, is at 850 pesos. So, kung i-complete mo sa dami ng bags na na-procure nila, sinag the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura computed, the government could have saved around 250 million pesos or lalabas na 140 pesos per bag. Money which could have been used to buy more fertilizers or to give it back to the government to use it in other programs to help the farmers. Sito?
Okay, so yung pala yung background dyan. In any case, we will continue to follow that story, Shaila, because right now the signal from your location is not consistent. But we will follow up on the story and we'll invite you back in the following days para madinig naman natin yung response ng tiga-DA because of course I know that Secretary Dar will be on top of this once, and I'm sure he already heard about it. In any case, Shaila, thank you very much for your report regarding that fertilizer scam, and please do stay safe, stay strong, and stay healthy. Okay, that's Shaila Francisco, our One News correspondent for who also covers the Department of Agriculture. Medyo lumayla yung signal natin dun sa Taguig, but we will continue to follow up on that story because 150 per sack, not exactly good news yung sinasabing patong, and that's a lot of money, couple hundred million there. In any case, we've reached the end of our show, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank our guests and hope that you learned something from our program today. I do want to ask all of you to please pray for the family of former Ambassador Eduardo Danding Coanco Jr., who passed away Tuesday evening at the age of 85. He was a very, very close friend of my father. They enjoyed their time talking about politics, sabong, and the likes. Personally, I am so thankful to the man because we didn't talk about politics really. In fact, I think he went to his grave with sama ng loob because I did not go along with his political plans for me when I was in another TV network. Uh, but Mr. Coangco, Ambassador Tito Danding, as I would refer to him, used to call me Bishop Beltran because I had a habit of quoting Bible verse or reminding them about behaviors, etc. And more than that, he encouraged me. He always encouraged me. He was there for me when I was falsely accused by some people. I remember him telling me, kung hindi mo ginawa at malinis ang konsyensya mo, hayaan mo sila, matulog ka ng mahimbing. And I can only pray that at this point that Ambassador Coangco is restful, peacefully resting, and as my sister mentioned in her Facebook post, probably catching up with my father, bringing my father up to date on what's been happening on the ground here in our beloved Philippines. In any case, I will miss the man, and I respect him, and I do hope you'd pray for him. And that's our agenda for today. And forgive me if I'm kind of like rambling. It's not easy to lose people in your life, and I know that a number of you out there have lost loved ones, have lost a lot of things because of COVID-19. But nonetheless, let's remain hopeful. Let's remain faithful. Let's remain prayerful, because the good Lord, God Almighty, will always be there for you. He will not let you down. He will not forget you, and He will take care of us all. Thank you, and have a good day.